So looking ahead to the Week 6 games, we'll just very quickly touch on the standings. Calgary and Buffalo both undefeated, 4-0 for Calgary, 5-0 for Buffalo. In the Western Division, Minnesota 2-1. We talked at the start of the year that they're going to compete in that division, and potentially they could win it. That is a big game this coming weekend. Minnesota is actually at Calgary, so the first game for those two facing off against each other. Portland 3-3, looking much better than we thought they would at the start of the year. Colorado, not sure exactly what's going on there. They're 2-2, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, 3 of those games have been at Colorado.
Yes.
So they've got to go out on the road now. That's no easy task in the NLL. San Jose 2-3, Edmonton 2-4. Over in the East, we got New York at 3-2, Boston at 2-3. Philly at 1-3, Toronto 1-3 now, and Rochester having gotten their first win last week, 1-4. So nobody's completely out of it. Obviously, there's a few teams behind, a few games behind, but we're early in the season. And Week 6, we got Buffalo at Philadelphia, and I guess as we go through, as we do every week, we'll make our picks as we go, and give us your thoughts and give us your pick.
Okay. All right, Buffalo and Philadelphia. I can't see Buffalo losing this one. They just Philly just doesn't have enough runners to compete with Buffalo. So I'm going to pick Buffalo.
Okay. I learned my lesson last week, and I'll take Buffalo as well.
Okay.
Leave it at that.
Minnesota Calgary. That's my game of the week.
Yeah.
That's going to be a killer. You know, the two tough teams, two real box teams again. At the Saddle Dome, Calgary by just a little. 1 or 2 at the best. It could go to overtime.
Yeah, I'm going to take Calgary there as well, only because it's at home. And correct me if I make this mistake later in the season, when they play back in Minnesota, I'll be taking Minnesota.
Okay.
Unless there's all kinds of injuries.
Okay.
But Calgary for me as well. Edmonton and Toronto, Saturday afternoon.
Oh. Brad Waters. My boss, sorry. I want to pick the Rock, not just because it's my heart. I just think the Rock are due for a win. And especially they're going to be going against their 2 old buddies, Banesh and Suttons. There's going to be a lot of emotion on the floor, behind the bench, and in the stands, I hope. I hope I get everybody rolling there on Saturday. I'm going to pick the Rock and by a good 3 or 4. They have to win this one to keep their fans happy at home. I'm
going to agree with you on the pick. But I don't agree 3 or 4, and I will go on record right now saying Ryan Banesh and Derek Suttons are scaring the heck out of me.
Yep.
I'm going to make this pick for the new announcer.
Okay.
I'll take the Rock because hopefully he can get the fans into the game. Other than that, I would have been picking Edmonton.
Okay.
New York or Boston?
New York.
Any reason?
Big, fast, do a win. Boston can't go through the whole year on just a couple of guys, Feldman and Dawson. Okay,
I'm actually going to take Boston there because they are impressing the heck out of me. And as I said, I think they remind me of the New York a few years ago. My concern with New York is I don't think defensively they're giving up a lot of goals, and I think Boston is playing a little bit better defensively than New York is, and offensively, I mean, New York can fill the net, but again, being in Boston, I'm going to stick with that home team. I'm using this home team a lot to as an advantage, and obviously it's not working that well for me, but I'm going to stick with Boston in that one. Now I'm not sure when we've slipped over to Saturday night. This is definitely Saturday night. The Colorado at Minnesota.
Minnesota, because once again, home turf. Minnesota's a really good team. Colorado's struggling. I really don't know why. I watched them and they got some great guys out there, but they just can't seem to find the net. So I'm going to pick Minnesota.
I agree with that one as well. Minnesota at home. The only thing that kind of concerns me, they're in Calgary on Friday night, back home Saturday night, but I don't think that's too big a deal. I mean, these guys are strong athletes.
It's an hour and a half flight at
most,
so it's not that bad.
2 games in 2 nights is not that big a deal. San Jose at Portland, Saturday night.
I'm going to pick the Lumberjacks. I like the way this team looks. This could be our sleeper of the year team. Yeah. Somebody could be a real pain in the ass come playoff time.
Yeah. I like Portland, but I'm going to take San Jose there. I'm going against what I just said. And Portland has been a very pleasant surprise, but I still think San Jose is a better team. The home floor advantage does concern me, but I think San Jose will be able to overcome that. I'm going to take them this week. Last game of the weekend is a Sunday night game, Philadelphia at New York.
Philly at New York, well, they both play the couple of nights before or the night before. Philadelphia needs a win really badly. They're not that bad, really. You know, they've come through a lot of tough games. They've had to play some big teams. And New York, I think, is going to be a tough game against Boston the night before. So I'm going to pick Philadelphia in this one.
And I'm going back to my home floor advantage. I just haven't seen enough yet from Philly, and I think New York at home with that crowd. Casey Powell, I think.
Oh, he's awesome, man.
Take New York there.
Casey Powell's awesome.
Yep.